Welcome back. The former England and Manchester United defender Phil Neville has been forced to apologise after a series of controversial tweets overshadowed his appointment as the new manager of the Lionesses. The tweets, which were sent between 2011 and 2012, appeared to make light of domestic abuse and implied that a woman's place was at home doing chores and looking after her children. Well, let's have a look at some of those tweets for you now. In a statement made through the FA, Neville has said the comments were not and are not a true and genuine reflection of either my character or beliefs, and offered his apology. Neville went on to say that he is fully aware of his responsibilities as the England women's head coach and is immensely proud and honoured to have been given the role. Well, I'm joined now by the founder of the Female Coaching Network, who's also a coach herself, Vicky Highton. Vicky, great to have you on the programme this afternoon. Is he the right man for the job, given these tweets?
Look, this is a really difficult one. Man or woman, it sounds like the FA have not done their job very well. And what is the most surprising is after the exit of the previous England head coach, how on earth they can end up in a situation like this less than 24 hours into the new head coach is anybody's guess. I have no idea what's going on at the FA.
They don't seem to be able to get it right, do they?
No, and let's be honest, it's not that difficult to get it right. There are a phenomenal amount of male and female coaches that are capable of being polite to women, wanting equality, and are also more experienced than Phil. Any of the comments that have come out of us with the FCN about the Phil Neville coaching appointment, I've been an Everton fan my entire life. I'm a big fan of Phil's as a player. But let's be honest, he's not the right person for the job. And I think it's a bit of an insult to both male and female coaches.
I mean, he has apologised. He said that these tweets do not in any way reflect who he is. But given that it wasn't a one-off, do you believe him?
Look, in today's day and age of social media, I am sure at one point in our lives, we are all going to get caught out for saying something stupid on social media. However, he has been...
Have you ever tweeted anything that you've regretted 6 years later?
I personally have never had a personal social media account, apart from the Female Coaching Network organisation one. I'm not the greatest fan of social media, and as Phil has just found out, that's the reason why. Not that I'm likely to post anything I regret, but I prefer to keep my personal opinions and personal life to myself.
What do you think the squad will make of this? And him, more importantly?
Yeah, again, I think it's an insult to the players as well. You know, a few years ago when Mo Marley was head coach at Everton Ladies, I worked alongside the Everton team back then with the Jill Scotts, the Tony Duggans, you know, and these women had sacrificed their entire lives. I was working with them back in the day when Jill Scott was driving from Northumbria, Sunderland, to come down to train at Everton. You know, the Tony Duggan, nobody knew who Tony Duggan was back then. And I think the only reason women's football has progressed over the last few years is because of the players themselves, not because of the FA. And I think this is a huge insult to all of them.
But surely it's about the right person for the job rather than the gender. It doesn't have to be a woman, does it?
Absolutely not. And that's certainly not my opinion. I don't think it has to be a woman. You know, why would you put an inexperienced woman at the head of a coaching role if she's not capable? However, I'm sure, and as I have had replies on social media recently, name me 1,000 male coaches that are more experienced than Phil, and I can certainly name you a handful of female coaches that are more qualified than Phil for this role.
I mean, the team have got a big year ahead of them, haven't they? If they do well, particularly at the World Cup, do you think he'll be forgiven?
Who knows? Again, you know, I think he's made a big mistake. I don't think everybody should be punished for mistakes they made 6 years ago, unless, of course, they're extreme. However, I think the FA are the ones that need to be forgiven. And knowing the history of the FA, I can't see that they're going to be forgiven, even if England women win the World Cup, because that will be down to the women themselves and not the FA.
Yeah, strong words there. Thank you so much for joining us, Vicky Highton.
Thank you very much.
The Female Coaching Network. Let's get a weather check for you now.
From a fresh coastal breeze